Tony Milazzo, welcome back to Live and On Board, and today's guest is Jodi Miller.
And I'm alive, and I'm on board.
You certainly are. We're holding our hostage on a sailboat, Marina del Rey Harbor.
Well, now you've just given away the location, so please come rescue me.
It's a big harbor. There's 5,000 boats. They'll never find you.
They'll find me. I'll start screaming.
No, there's a lot of people screaming.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
You think you're the only hostage in Marina del Rey?
I forgot.
Come on. There's a lot of pirates here. You already met a few on the way in for the interview.
They were very scary, but interesting looking.
Where are you from? Is there water or pirates?
There are water and pirates, but they're not together. I'm from Jersey, so there's
Jersey.
There's lots of water there, and pirates, but more just the type that hang out in local dive bars and and have lost an eye in some weird bar fight.
Those kind of pirates.
Yes, those kind of pirates. Or they steal people's virginity. That's what they are. Actually.
Ooh, okay. I might resemble that remark. Okay, so Jersey. How long were you in Jersey for? Most of your life?
My whole life. Born in New York City, and then my parents moved when I was a baby, and I moved out here 15 years ago. So I was there my whole life.
Oh, great. You still go back and do shows? Or?
I do go back and do shows. I'm going to go back at the end of this month to do a firefighters fundraiser for actually the town that I grew up in, Rockaway, New Jersey. So that's a big event. Yeah, so I do go back. I do shows. I started comedy in New York. So, I consider that sort of...
What were some of the clubs?
Stand Up New York Comedy Club, Caroline's. I went back, last year I'll do a guest spot at Gotham. I do weekends in clubs. I haven't done any weekends in New York. Usually I just go back and call them up and ask if I can do a guest spot, and they're kind enough to allow it. So
yeah, I just got back from New York. I love doing shows there.
It's so great. It's such a
Isn't the audience
city.
different?
It's definitely different. I feel though like LA crowds tend to be the toughest. They're really smart and super judgmental.
Yeah, they're like, go ahead, make me laugh.
Yes, exactly. New York
sat
crowds,
in traffic. I don't have time for this.
They don't, or they're in the industry and they're like, oh, I can do that too if I wanted to. You know what I mean? It's that kind of. I feel like to me, New York crowds are amazing. I feel like the best crowd for me is when I go into Washington, D.C. If I do that improv, that's like the best improv in the country.
Really?
I know, they're just because it's just a combination of New York and L.A. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of both.
How about the troops? Because they're waiting for entertainment. They work so hard.
I've entertained the troops, 4 times, 4 tours. It was amazing. They're incredibly grateful. I'm grateful to be asked to go do that. Sometimes the conditions are less than desirable, but... I'm super excited to do that. And
didn't you just get back?
Just got back. I did a tour. We did Greenland, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, Honduras, and the Bahamas. I've done the Bahamas base before, which is beautiful, Andros Island. This was a great tour.
Guantanamo Bay too, huh?
I know, Gitmo. Crazy. It was crazy.
Was it?
Yeah. Well, it was just crazy because
anything weird happened?
No. In fact, it's where we felt most at home because that base is about 38 square miles. It's massive. They have like a school system. They have 2 school systems there. They have like an Ashley Furniture. They've got a lot of fast food. Because there's so many people living on that base, it's very family friendly. It looks like before we went to go do the show, I remember saying, this could either be Cuba or Woodland Hills. Like it looks very similar to some place, some valley in California. It does. Right. Wow. With the exception of the lizards that walk all over the streets. Other than that, it's
Did you make friends with the lizards? Or?
Yes, obviously I did. Yeah.
Did they put them to work? Did they do anything? Deliver mail?
No, there was one massive iguana sitting outside of their Ralph's. I don't know if I forget what it's called, but it's just like a Ralph's. And sitting out there, when we came out, the lizard, and I'm talking the size of a medium-sized dog. That's how big they are. They're massive. The lizard was gone, but he had left a heaping pile of crap. Like, he just a
little lizard?
Not even little. I mean, he's the size of a medium-sized dog, and he left a human-sized crap and just walked away. Like, he was gone. He was just sitting there, and obviously they don't have a scoop up after your
No
lizard.
Cooper Scooper.
There isn't. Not for a lizard. They
Curb
just
your
left it there.
lizard or
You're
something.
not curbing any lizards there. No. It was interesting. I felt actually envious because wouldn't it be great to just drop it and go? That would be so great.
There you go.
I'm just going to leave it here.
I have a different vision now of
Yeah,
Guantanamo Bay.
you should, yeah, exactly.
I was thinking like guys with long beards, terrorists behind bars. And
No.
No.
Not at all.
Waterboarding.
Yeah. Maybe. I went in the water. There was no waterboarding. They have we went right on the water and we went sailing and we went scuba diving and it was nice snorkeling. It was really beautiful.
That's not what I think of.
You don't think of that? Absolutely not.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was really nice.
For you.
Yes.
She really roughed it, folks. With
I did.
Troops, yeah.
That actually was well. To be honest with you, what was rough about that is that it was 10 days and we were on 11 flights. It was so much travel. It was like we flew into Washington. We took a military flight to Greenland, which is another 5.5 hours, which is just completely snow covered.
Yeah.
It's like, crazy. We did one show. We got back on a plane, flew back to Washington, then flew back, then took another private plane, another 5 hours to Cuba. From Cuba, we went to Honduras, and then Bahamas, and then Bahamas we came back to Miami, and then flew from Miami to Honduras, and then it was so much travel. It was a lot of travel. So you're just exhausted, and then you have to do a show, and then you come off, and then all of a sudden you're traveling again. We had a couple days off.
How are you? You okay with that? Getting up and performing with all that jet lag?
It doesn't really set in, and the jet lag. It's not. There was no massive time difference anywhere we went. It's like going back to the East Coast.
Okay.
Greenland, I think, was an hour ahead of us, I believe, or maybe even an hour behind us, and then the rest were like 3 hours ahead. Everything else is East Coast time for the most part.
Have you done any college tour too?
I've done colleges. I have a book series that is out, and one of the books, I have the WTF book series, How to Survive 101 of the Worst Effing Situations, and the second book in that series is WTF College. So when that came out, I started doing a lot of colleges. Colleges are fun. It's not my favorite thing to do. Have you done colleges?
A couple. I've done 2 or 3 on the East Coast.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing.
You don't think that? Who's a better audience, the military or the colleges?
The military, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Huh?
The college students, a lot of the jokes go over their head because they're just young. I mean, I think if you're a younger comic and you're doing a lot of observational comedy, that works really well. But there's a lot of stuff that, I always make a joke when I open at a college, like, look at your faces. You're still filled with so much hope and optimism. Like, they still believe anything's possible.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is your future, people.
Yeah, wait till it sets in.
Exactly. Wait till the depression sets in and the drinking. Oh, you're already drinking. But now you're just drinking to have fun. You'll soon be drinking to medicate. But then I also, I'm talking about, if I'm single and, how difficult dating can be. And they don't understand that. And I'll make a comment, too. I'm like, you guys don't understand what dating is. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, girls just walk out of their dorm and fall on a dick, and now they're dating. Like, that's exactly how it was in college.
Yeah.
That didn't,
They have no idea what's going on.
They have no idea how rough it can be. So I tell them. So basically, when I leave, they feel worse about their future instead of better.
Especially most of the colleges with the big budgets to bring the shows there. They're mostly, mom and dad. They've been silver spooned and really don't know anything about life.
They don't. That's where I come in.
Well, in your comedy, do you deal with a lot of life stuff?
Yours? I definitely, I believe in personal humor. I think it's the most relatable. Even if it's an experience that you think you're the only one going through, the majority of the time that's not the case. I find that so many people come up to me and are like, I also mouth kiss my cat. And I love to hear that.
Wow.
There's a lot of people out there mouth kissing cats. I don't know if you know that. Yeah, it's a big deal. Are
they taking pictures? It's like the new thing.
They should. If I could get a picture with me kissing my cat on the mouth, oh my God, that would be my profile picture.
Okay.
Have you seen my cat? My cat is stunning.
Really?
It's a really good-looking cat.
You have a good-looking cat?
I don't like to brag, but he's
male or female?
He's a male.
Oh, it's a male. It's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay.
He is a female. I mean, he has no balls.
Oh, okay. Been burnt off.
I got those removed immediately. He's now a mama's boy for life.
That's got to be weird too. Like getting kidnapped, having your
they
having
actually just drain it out
and
now. They drain them. They don't even burn them off anymore. They used to cut them and then singe it, and now they just I think they would just remove it.
I'm surprised he kisses you. I wouldn't kiss you.
He's gay now, so obviously he kisses me.
Okay. Well,
the gays love me.
So you I'm sure they do. So pets, you love pets, right? So you have a cat. Any other pets? Do you have any other?
No, just one cat.
You didn't take a lizard back with you from?
I didn't.
No,
that would have been.
Could've.
That would have been great to see my lizard and my cat. Those lizards were bigger than my cat.
Probably eat your cat.
No, my cat's pretty tough, but yeah. But if that lizard
Has
took
claws, your cat?
yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, get rid of the nuts, but keep the claws. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm with
obviously.
you. I see it. I see
So I
it.
roll. That's how I do it. Do you have pets? Are you a pet owner?
Yes, dog.
Dog.
Great dog. Big dog.
Big dog. What kind of dog?
And we kiss.
Good. See?
And he's male.
Well, look at that.
That's another whole show, though.
That is another show.
Time. Talking about shows. Oh, my God. So I'm looking at, I was checking out some of your resume and your bio.
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah. I've done it.
Yeah. I see Playboy Channel. I saw Sopranos. I saw something about Law and Order. I saw...
Yeah. Well, Sopranos and Law and Order were, in New York. So when I was starting in New York, those were like the only two shows at the time that you could get on, and I managed to get on them. And I think Law and Order, I only had one... I didn't even have a line, I don't think. I was in the jury, and I had an expression. So I think it was a line, and then they cut it. But they were like... guilty or when they gave the guilty verdict, I think I went, you guys can't see, but I'm making a face like, oh, he's guilty. Yeah. Like you're gonna die. And then in Sopranos, it was the very first season and it never aired yet. This was a time in New York, which is much different before the interweb, where you could submit yourself that way. And
you actually went in, or
other actors and myself, we would actually go from casting office. We would walk in New York and just hit every casting office and drop our headshots off. And we were at one casting office and I dropped my headshot off and the guy came running out and he was like, hey, we're shooting a new show for HBO. Are you SAG? And at that time I was SAG eligible. So he was like, perfect. Are you available this night? And I was like, yeah. And I got it. And I was really just a club goer in that scene, but I ended up having a line. They didn't write it in for me. I just improvised it because I was like, I'm gonna get a line. I mean, the show had never aired. I didn't know how massive of a show it would be, and from the scene you couldn't really tell. I knew it was a show about gangster mobsters living in Jersey, and I was like, I know a lot of those. But the scene was just me trying to get into a club with a whole bunch of other party goers, and I screamed out, "How about me? How about me?" And they kept it in. They did keep it in, which they didn't pay me anymore, but. Was all right.
Who was in that scene with you? Was any of the...
I think one of the stars, I can't even remember. Not even a major, just somebody trying to get in the club. So
Did you ever get to meet James Gandolfini?
No, and I didn't know who James Gandolfini was at the time because the show had never aired.
Right. Yeah.
And, that scene, as long as it took, it was like a 12-hour shoot that day. He wasn't there, so we were just outside, and then we had one scene inside. And I remember we were shooting in the summer in New York, and anybody that knows the summer in New York is hot and humid. It's unlike California where it cools at night. At New York, it's still 90 degrees and humid. It's muggy. But we had to dress in winter clothes because this was going to be taking place in the winter. So we were already sweating outside. We were in the club. It was even worse. And at that time, obviously, smoking was still like acceptable in bars and clubs, so they were actually handing out cigarettes. They wanted everyone smoking, so the place was just filled with smoke. It was 1,000 degrees. We're trying to act like you're having a good time and you're sexy people, and I'm like, I'm dying. I think one girl actually passed out from heat exhaustion, and they stepped over her and they're like, keep rolling. Girls pass out at clubs all the time. And then finally they were cut, and then they took her to the hospital or something like that. But
so you like the acting work as much as the
I
comedy?
love it. I got into comedy only to increase the acting work.
Right.
But joke was on me. Apparently, I just got more comedy work, which is great,
But it shows you can do everything. I mean,
this is
everything.
the toughest. And they just complement each other. The fact that I have an acting background. I teach comedy, and I get two types of students. One that have an acting background or some sort of performance background, and then the other that have never been on a stage in their lives. And there are pros and cons to both. As somebody that has a performance background, I was comfortable on stage. I mean, I was still really nervous, but I was very comfortable, doing any sort of act outs or, just even telling my jokes. I was comfortable, but actors come with some bad habits, especially stage actors. I had done a lot of theater work. So when I was first starting out, I would be on stage like, this is me sounding like a comic. I will project. It was just it wasn't natural and conversational.
Right.
Whereas someone who's never been on stage before, has never performed before, will actually deliver a joke the way they would normally tell a story. And that, in my opinion, is the perfect delivery. You know what I mean? Eventually, of course, you want to get more comfortable on stage.
Right.
And
it should be like you're in somebody's living room telling
It should
a story.
be, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you are still performing, so jokes obviously need to be shorter and quicker. but you should still have that sense of connecting with the audience, very conversational, you know what I mean? And a lot of actors that have performance backgrounds, you know, use that as a crutch, so to speak, or a tool. Like, you know, I know how to perform and I'll do this, and it just doesn't come across as natural. Again, the longer you do it, depending on where, you know, whether you've had performance background or not, you'll eventually get there. If you continue on, you'll eventually get to that place where it just seems natural and conversational.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing comedy? All time, right?
Oh, I did comedy. I'm an actor and an entertainer since 5 on stage.
Right.
And so I've been doing live stage most of my life. Some of it was comical. I did stand-up for about 6 months, maybe 15 years ago.
Okay.
And the last 2 years I've been doing stand-up.
Right.
Comedy Store. And
Yeah.
New York Comedy Club, New York. But I've been hosting straight through. I've been hosting for 20 years.
Oh, that's great.
Comedy and
Hosting's
live
great.
shows and
I think hosting's a great.
events.
It's a great thing to do, and especially for newer comics, I always tell them, host as much as you can.
Yeah.
It gives you the opportunity to try out new material. You get more stage time, basically, because you can try out jokes in between comics, as well as doing your own set. You also get, you know, a chance to improvise with the audience, you know, without eating up your time. It's a great thing to do.
Yeah. So how about your writing too? You write for yourself, other people?
I do all of that. Yes, I wrote for a series on Cinemax, and yes, it was soft porn, because that shit doesn't write itself.
Somebody has to.
Somebody's got to do it.
Where do I put this arm? No, I'm just
well,
kidding.
you know what's really funny about that is that when I got hired for that show, somebody asked me, you know, somebody that was one of the writers already hired on it. Like HBO was looking for writers for this new show. We don't have a woman on the team. Can you submit your stuff? So I did, and when I got the call, they're like, "I love you. You're on the team." I was like, "Oh my god, this is so exciting!" They told me the name. It was like they were like, "It's it's an American Pie meets Porky's type of show. It's a college-based fun comedy half-an-hour show." And I was like, "Awesome!" So our first production meeting, I remember they were telling us, you know, the scripts, the pages should be 22 to 24 pages for a half-an-hour show, and that we needed to have 4 sex scenes per episode. And it was a big point they were making. 4 full sex scenes, not just boobs and ass, like full sex scenes. So I, of course, was like, "I'm sorry, what network is this on?" And he was like, "Oh, it's going to be on our sister station, Cinemax."
Yeah.
Because HBO owns Cinemax. And I was like, "Oh, right, okay."
That's every 5.5 minutes or something like that.
It was literally almost every 5th page, even though they wanted these storylines. They really, that was a great job, but they were meticulous about the arc of everyone's storylines. If this couple's going to get together, we need to see the progression for the 13 episodes. How do they end? So basically, they wanted really great storylines, but every, 4, 5 pages, my scenes would be like, "I have something really important to tell you, but first let's fuck," because it's page 5. Like, literally, that was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
how did that go? Did that air for a while?
It aired. It was one of the longest series Cinemax had. It was a great job. We did it 4 seasons. What was great about it is that we could write from home.
Yeah.
And HBO was really great about rewrite notes. You submit your episodes in while working on a new episode. They would do their notes. They would come back. We would rewrite and then continue write. It was great. It had
everything people wanted, obviously.
The shows on paper,
funny,
yes.
And they want sex.
So, the scripts on paper are really funny. In fact, my manager still submits them now as samples for people because the scripts are really great scripts. Unfortunately, the actors were non-union, so they weren't as talented as maybe some other actors. And I remember we got the DVDs of the first season before it aired, and me and the other writers watched it, and I was horrified because these were such funny episodes, and these actors were butchering these jokes.
Oh.
So I remember I called my dad up, and I was like, "Oh, these people are ruining all of my hard work." And my dad goes, "Well, why haven't you tried to get on that show?" And this is what I said in the order that I said it. I go, "Oh, Dad, it's non-union." And then I go, "And B, I'd have to look 19. And C, do you want your daughter doing soft porn?" And then I realized that C probably should have been like A. Probably A.
Especially on the phone with Dad.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm thinking that. He was like, "All right, enough said." So yeah, but I think the fact that my biggest concern was that it was non-union was horrifying enough. Not the soft porn part, but yeah. But that was a great job. I've worked on Playboy from actually many shows. Playboy is one of my favorite places to work as well. They brought a lot of comedy in. They have a show that is their dating show called Foursome, which is 4 singles in a mansion for 24 hours. And like, oh, what's going to happen? They play sex games and they try to get them to all have a foursome. They've done about 7 seasons of it. And what the executive producer of that show did, which was brilliant, is she took some of the best episodes, hired 6 comedians, some really amazing comedians. Myself, Lennon Robertson, Rick Overton. I mean, what was I going to say? I'm trying to think of so many. I'm sure I'll think of like other names, but like so many amazing comics. They Bobby Sheldon. They hire us to now rewatch the episode, and then we just make fun of it while the episode's happening. So it's such a great show. It's called Foursome Walk of Shame. It's so funny. I mean, you can see clips on YouTube, but you'd unfortunately have to subscribe to Playboy to see all the full episodes. But they're really funny.
So where should everybody look to catch Jodi Miller and some of your work and things you've done?
You can go on my website, Jodi, Jodi Miller, Miller, comedy, all one word, Jodi Miller Comedy. .com.
Okay.
I am not the bodybuilder, so if you Google me, I will probably pop up first, but right underneath will be Jodi Lee Miller, who is a bodybuilder. And she's fabulous, and if you're into bodybuilding, you know, more power to you. I do not bodybuild. I barely work out. But yes.
But you're looking good, Jodi.
Oh, well,
looking
thanks.
Good.
Well,
looking good.
Yeah, I'm
Keep
trying. I'm trying to. So you can go on my website. It's all my club dates, where I'm traveling to, the shows here in Los Angeles. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm up 4 or 5 nights a week, so you can catch me. And yeah.
What's next for Jodi Miller?
What is next? God, I don't know, actually. It's 2014.
Well, what do you want to do? You're a Renaissance woman. You can do anything. So
I can do anything.
You're very talented, multi-talented,
I am.
multifaceted.
I am. I am writing. I'm writing. I'm working on another book, and I'm working on a pilot that are not related, actually. One is, they're both sort of based on my life, but they're not related. So that's pretty much all I can say right now.
Okay.
But yeah, but that's, yeah. That's...
Now, let me ask you a question about boating.
Yes,
Since
please.
we're here live and on board,
Yes.
about to wrap up the show.
Okay.
But have you done a lot of boating? Are you familiar with boating?
Yes. I grew up around a lake.
Okay.
In Rockaway, New Jersey.
Power boats or sail?
Sail. We had a sailboat. My father
right.
taught me how to sail when I was young, and then when we got older, we used to catamaran quite a bit. Not on the lake that I grew up on. That was a smaller lake, but there's a lot of amazing lakes in New Jersey,
Okay.
Lake Apacon, lakes in that vicinity. And then if you go obviously further down the coast to get to the shore, the Jersey Shore,
Okay.
there's obviously a lot of boats
So
down there.
you enjoy the water, huh?
I do enjoy the water. It's very funny because so many people are, you know, they love the beach, they love to surf. That's not my thing. I would rather be on a boat.
Okay.
I'd like to fish. I'd like to take a boat out. I don't have any desire to surf.
Well, I'm glad we got you out on the water
I know,
today,
it's
huh?
beautiful here. I would much
Gorgeous
rather
day.
live by a marina than live
Could
by
you imagine
the ocean.
January?
Yeah.
We're in January.
I know, it's really hot.
It's
today.
just beautiful.
It is beautiful. It
80
is. I
degree
wish it
day.
was a little cooler, though.
Little
I'm not
cooler?
going to lie. I mean,
Yeah.
I just feel, you know, from an East Coaster, we just want our seasons just a little bit. I liked it when it was like in the 60s, like a month ago.
Yeah.
Because then I got to wear my sweaters.
Yeah.
We buy them and we want to wear them at least twice. You know what I mean?
Go to New York and do that. We just got back from wearing sweaters.
Yeah, I'm going to New York in a couple weeks. So
We
I'll get
left
to bring
right
my
before
sweaters.
the temperature dropped.
Oh
and it
God,
got
yeah,
crazy.
that freeze. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It was really
That
nice.
is really crazy. But that's when you just keep drinking and you feel warm from the inside. It's all good.
Well, I had a lot of fun with you today.
I had so much fun. Thank you so much.
Will you come back another time?
Of course I will come back.
All right, Jodi Miller coming back to Live and On Board. And next time we'll actually go sailing.
Yes.
And we'll plant some microphones on each other. There'll be
Okay.
a lot of wind and noise, and we'll edit something from it. We'll
That'll
have
be
a good
fun.
time. We'll
Yeah,
have a lot of fun.
absolutely.
All right?
Awesome.
Put you at the helm?
I
Steer
can
the
be at
boat?
the helm. I can do it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you've been Live and On Board with Jodi Miller. Look at jodimillercomedy.com. And this has been a lot of fun. She'll be back with us again. Tony Milazzo, Live and On Board. Until next time, ahoy.